Joining me now from Israel on the latest on the war is Ariel Oseran. As a former analyst with the Israeli Intelligence Corps and now a Middle East correspondent with IT24 News. Ariel, thank you so much for joining us. What is happening now on the ground, or at least that we know of?
Well, Andrew, that depends on where you're asking. First of all, thank you for having me. Israel is engaged in a multi-front campaign right now. It's officially at war, and its ground troops have been operating inside Gaza. I mean, there were for weeks the question whether the ground invasion will begin, when will it begin? So slowly, gradually, and quietly, I must add, the ground invasion of Gaza has begun. Israeli forces are advancing slowly in the northern part of the Gaza Strip, and they're encountering terrorists, taking out hundreds of Hamas targets. That's according to the latest update by the IDF. On the northern border, there has been exchanges of fire between Israeli forces and Hezbollah terrorists, as well as other Palestinian organizations, pretty much since October 7th, since day one. Yesterday, there was intensification of the cross-border fighting. This includes anti-tank guided missile attacks on military outposts, military vehicles, as well as rockets on northern Israeli cities. All the while, also in the south, rockets continue to be launched nonstop towards southern Israeli communities. Every once in a while, there's a siren in central Israel as well, in Tel Aviv, and millions of people have to go into the shelters. And those are the two main fronts. But if you add to that the flare-up in the West Bank with hundreds of arrests and clashes every night, you have Yemen. Yemen launched drones and cruise missiles at Israel that were taken down by American forces. And also you cannot ignore the fact that as the U.S. has brought forces here to the region, some of them already engaging with Iranian proxies, like I just mentioned, the Houthis. U.S. bases in Iraq and in Syria have been struck at least 20 times since October 7th by pro-Iranian militia. So as you can see, you have a wide array of different areas, different fronts that Israel is engaged in, but obviously the main front is the southern front and potentially the northern front as well.
Well, the strategy seems to be establishing a sort of bridgehead in northern Gaza and moving gradually in. It's not a whole storming of the city. The difficulty remains the hostages. Any word about them?
Indeed, 239 hostages. That's the latest count, which has only been rising, even with the release of three elderly and one young woman hostages since October 7th. This is a sore subject for Israelis because on the one hand, they want to advance with this ground operation. They want to get the job done. They want to topple Hamas. On the other hand, there are over 230 Israelis being held hidden inside Hamas underground tunnels in various spots across the Gaza Strip. I mean, family members who their loved ones were kidnapped. So on the first day that they were kidnapped, they could locate their phone inside the Gaza Strip, but that's the last they heard of them. Yeah. There's a lot of international mediation.
Yeah, there's a lot of international mediation, but Hamas is not going to let them go. That's their one bargaining chip, and they're going to play it for all it's worth. And it's a choice: go in or save the hostages. I don't know that you can do both, much as I hate to say that. Ariel Oseran, thank you so much for your update. Really appreciate it.